I am so incredibly excited. I know I just recorded a video about how this moment in time is different than any other and how it's a great transformation from what I recorded in 2021. Why am I so excited? What gets me so jazzed up about posting videos online? Let me give you a little backstory as to what got me here and why this time is going to be different. I played sports most of my life, and it taught me a great deal about how to chase a dream. It was like a sandbox into how to chase a dream. I learned a lot physically, mentally, spiritually, but all throughout my life, what you'll see and what you'll find and what you'll hear me say is that spirituality is the most important of all. My faith, my love for God, and his love for me. And so playing sports my whole life, there were some great things that were done. Went to amazing schools, got great involvement with the best of the best to become one that really was one of the best at what he did. But it was because I was around others that were so much better than me. That led me to wanting to go to West Point. Did not get into West Point, only got to a certain standing, a congressional nomination letter that then fell short. So I went to do Army ROTC at Drexel University and went to university for a couple of years. I decided I didn't want to go through with Army and that business was my calling. I felt compelled to focus on business, and I salute all those who serve so much. I love the military. I love the Army. I love our veterans. I love everyone that serves this country, has served, serves, and will serve. But I decided I wanted to focus on business. So I focused on building on my own companies, experimenting with many things that led me to starting Dream Big & Co., which was my media production company. The thing about that and what I learned is that I was trying to do so many things. I was in an experimental stage. I had a podcast. Then I learned video editing and video production, which led me to making my own films, which led me to having that offered as a service. So I was balancing, am I a media production company? Am I a media brand? Am I a media agency? I didn't really know. And the brand wasn't fully there to let me outlet myself into that. I was even recording personal adventures for Dream Big & Co. It was just too much. It didn't have an aligned purpose. There wasn't a true identity to it. But that led me to collaborating on a project with someone that I care about so much that led me to Austin, Texas. And I worked on building a business there with the greatest team ever, a most amazing brand in the food industry for 4 years. And I learned so much about business, leadership, team building, sales, marketing, every single aspect of what business is. And then from that, I've now been learning so much more about sales and marketing. And lately, these things have been clicking about what brand really is, how to get someone to see your video and then provide more value to them in a sort of journey. Okay. With all of that said, I'm at this point in time where I've accumulated enough knowledge that I just truly want to share it with others. And I found that I like to lead men, especially younger men who are growing into themselves. I've been molded by pressure. God has given me opportunities that have allowed me to go places and see things and experience such depth in the business realm and in improving myself physically, mentally, spiritually, that I want to share it with others and create a group of people that can grow together. I've always loved that idea. But now I have a proper way to outlet it. I have a proper way to dispose of this energy, because energy, the first law of thermodynamics, energy does not get created or destroyed. It exists. It always goes somewhere. So with that said, all this energy I have now, with all these learnings, I want to outlet into these YouTube videos, and I'm going to structure it in many ways. Because like I learned from the past, I would try to do too much at first. I would try to talk about everything. I would try to do it all because I liked so many things. That's actually why I started podcasting, is because I liked so many topics. I wanted to talk about it all with different people in those different fields. But now, understanding all that I know about sales, marketing, business, and in personal improvement, self-improvement, physical, mental, spiritual, I know the plan in which I want to progressively talk about those things, but it's not going to be all at once. The first phase of it, the first year or two or even more, is going to be about spirituality. I really enjoy talking about the faith, about Christianity, about the Bible, about Jesus. Because I think at the root of it too, what men need the most, what all people need the most is that. That is the core of it. So why would I start with spirituality first instead of starting with mindset or physical improvement? It's because of exactly that. You get your spiritual attunement good, you are in right standing with God, all great things can compile after that. And you're rooted in a foundation of faith. So the things you do properly align with God in the way you improve yourself physically and mentally. So it's not this gluttonous love for self in this focus on self, because the goal is not to focus on yourself. It's to become the best version of yourself possible, but for other people. And there are ways to improve yourself in different myriads. You can start physical improvement and then improve your mindset, and then you realize, okay, I need, like, where's my soul at? And I took that progression too. But I personally love talking about spirituality. I will not get run down talking about spirituality. And that's why I will maintain the output I do and the consistency I have with posting on YouTube and talking about these things, because I can talk about spirituality for so long. And then from that, in building up whatever is built up, whatever people feel like they want to listen to me and what I say about these things, then we'll go on to physical improvement, nutrition, sleep, recovery, lifestyle, running, lifting, working out, transforming your body, and then also mindset, how to transform your mindset, your frame of thinking, your perspective. Okay, so this is a big moment for me. And why do I feel so compelled at this moment in time in 2025 to talk about these things? Is because a story of a corrupted hard drive. I've been documenting myself for years upon years. I even have hard drives here and here that I've collected since I finished high school and I started recording myself at university. But there was one hard drive that I had that I transferred a lot of the footage on. And I was making YouTube videos. If you go through my YouTube video catalog, you'll see some of those. But then the hard drive corrupted and I couldn't access any of the videos anymore. And it thoroughly got me so angry and pissed off that I basically lost all this. We'll still see if I can get it back and recover it, if I can get the corrupted hard drive fixed. But I do not have access to that. And there was loads and loads and loads of gigabytes and terabytes of footage of me talking, reflecting, documenting myself. What if I had put that online? I know it was very personal too, so I kept some stuff for myself, but what if I had all put that online? So I'm saying this to say the story of a corrupted hard drive is to act and to do it now. Because I don't want to sit back and record it for myself for no one to see. Growth is meant to be done together. I want you to see the growth journey. And I want to talk about these things now because I've lived a certain amount of life where I want to reflect on them openly with others and share some of what I may know, some of what I'm working through, and we can learn together. That excites me. That's what needs to be done now. No more corrupted hard drives need to happen. It's all going to be out in the public, to build in public, work in public, live in public, live together. And so what is the plan for YouTube for the next couple months, years? Is action. We're focusing on spirituality first. I want to go through what the Bible means, going through books of the Bible, how to read verses, what certain verses mean, how the Bible's impacted me, what local church is, what the church at large is, what Christianity is. I feel called by God to talk about these things because now is the time. Now is the time. There's no more waiting. There's no more perfect moment. And even if you think about the story of Jesus, like, he was a carpenter up until his late 20s, early 30s, and then he had his public ministry and he went out and started preaching the gospel, knowing each time he preached the gospel, performed a miracle, showed he was the Son of Man, the Son of God, that would lead him to the crucifixion, to the cross. But he had lived his life, been the carpenter, grew up as a man, as we all do, and lived the human life until he got to the point where he went out and preached publicly and did his work and his ministry publicly. He's 100% God when he walked the earth, but he was 100% man as well. And so I think about that to say, we all live our lives and learn within a specific focus for a good amount of years. And so now I'm at this time where I'm 26 years old and I want to share all the things about my spiritual life and how God has changed my life and what I learned in the Bible and why people ask me this and that about books of the Bible to gain more understanding and wisdom, to decipher what these truths actually mean. Because at the core of it, it is the most important of the three, of the whole man, of the spiritual, physical, mental, of the whole man. And so we are going to build character together. I want to eventually have these YouTube videos lead to a community of men so we can help each other become whole. And then we'll see what comes of it. I'm totally detached from any results. I just know in my heart the pure intention of creating about the faith, especially to start this 3-phase journey of spiritual, physical, and mental, and starting with spiritual and focusing on that. It feels so good to be able to focus on one thing at a time. But the spiritual is the one to talk about first, because when we get our heart and our mind right, we can then have that plug in to all other areas of our lives. And it feels right for me because I can talk about this stuff forever without end. I love talking about it with others. I love learning about it with others. And so that's what we are going to do together. Just happens to be online and we're watching videos. So why do I make this video? Why am I going to have it pinned to my YouTube channel? Is because this is the plan and vision ahead. This is the plan and vision ahead, and it feels so right.